It's problem John Fury. It's bad behavior. It's my opinion. Bad behavior, yeah.
Has he?
I recently revealed Oleksandr Usyk. The main flaw of Tyson Fury is that his father, John Fury the Gypsy King, answered Usyk with a wonderful rejoinder.
Nervous, shaking, terrified.
Even at this stage, would you ever concede that you do have nerves, even if nerves are a good thing?
Absolutely bricking it. Look here, I can barely
The mind games between both teams have begun, and we have a lot of drama unfolding before the fight. But what did Fury and Usyk say about each other? Stick around and watch as we find out in this video. As soon as both Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk touched down in Riyadh, both boxers began with their mind games. So far, Usyk has stayed away from commenting about the Gypsy King and has stressed that he intends to focus on his fight. However, after John Fury's latest antics where he headbutted a team member from Usyk camp, Oleksandr couldn't resist as he made a shocking statement. During an interview, a calm and composed Usyk emphasized the importance of good conduct and the impact of negative actions, highlighting the outrageous incident involving John Fury. Describing the event as stemming from John Fury's bad behavior, Usyk urged his team to avoid confrontation and step back, emphasizing peace and focus on the upcoming fight. When asked if John Fury had apologized, Usyk dismissed it as irrelevant, underlining that his team should not dwell on the incident.
Think before, think what after будет well.
When thinking back on the fight that was coming up, Usyk talked about having a strong feeling of destiny and confidence based in his religion. He talked about how he considered that thinking good and doing well could affect results. A viewpoint shaped by his karma-loving religious convictions. Usyk wants to become the unchallenged heavyweight champion, and the interview captured his thinking and preparation for this high-stakes fight. Before the much-awaited battle, Usyk wants to get rid of all the negativity and approach it with clarity and optimism. In a typically witty and rebellious reply, the Gypsy King addressed Usyk remarks as well. During a Sky Sports boxing interview, Tyson Fury seemed lighthearted and snarky about the impending undisputed heavyweight championship match. The gregarious and theatrical Fury addressed his anxiety head-on, mockingly declaring he was anxious, shivering, and afraid during the interview. The discussion also covered the difficulties in competing in Saudi Arabia and how to overcome them by adjusting to the local weather and time zones. Funny enough, Fury minimized any effect on his mental state or preparation. Inquiring as to Fury's reaction to the grand rival's crowds shouting, the interviewer raised the possibility that Usyk crew was trying to intimidate or unnerve him in classic Fury manner. With assurance that there would only be two guys fighting in the ring, Fury ignored these attempts. He mocked his fear of the game and dismissed any genuine worry about chance or psychological tricks, therefore reiterating his supremacy in it. Fury also talked on how to manage his sleep problems and change his schedule in order to be ready for battle, but he avoided disclosing specifics about his training and daily schedule, highlighting privacy and maybe a calculated withholding of information as part of this psychological warfare. In the end of the interview, Fury declared unequivocally that he had no doubts about beating Usyk and boldly predicted his triumph. With his endearing appeal, he urged his supporters and the general public to watch the fight.
I'm going to win the fight on Saturday night, for sure. There's no doubt in my mind that I'm not going to win. 100% in my mind, I'm going to beat him.
This interview shows Fury's attitude to the psychological and mental components of boxing, in which he maintains his public reputation as a strong and amusing guy while facing obstacles and opposing claims with humor and bravado. Predicting this fight is another concern for the boxing community.
But where they're both super smart, as in pedigree and cuteness, that is it's a good fight, but I back Tyson all the way. He's just too big.
Interview with Boxing Social. Heavyweight boxer Mark Tibbs made a daring prediction about the fight. Tibbs acknowledged the top positions of both fighters and lauded them both for their extraordinary abilities and clever fighting tactics throughout the conversation. But his forecast primarily relied on Tyson Fury's physical advantages and strategic prowess. Fury looked powerful, fit, and prepared for the bout, Tibbs said, emphasizing his better physical condition. He compared this to earlier bouts when Fury was less strong and had lost weight. Fury's physicality and calculated strategy, he thought, would finally allow him to overwhelm Usyk. Tibbs was also comfortable enough to project the possible result of a knockout, saying he thought Fury could stop Usyk in the bout. This forecast shows his opinion on Fury's skills and his assessment of the two-fighter strategic mismatch. Leonardo Lapin, in an interview with pro boxing fans, Alexander Usyk, former training partner, raved about Usyk forecasts and observations. Penn highlighted his immense regard and affection for Usyk and the honor of attending his training camp. He called the event both a great honor and really motivating. He also had Usyk winning the bout.
TKO, Alexander Usyk, TKO 9 rounds, maybe 10.
Daniel, thank you very much. Good luck on Saturday night. We'll speak to you soon. Thank you.
Talking about the fight's dynamics, Lapin was sure Usyk will stop Fury in the next rounds. SU in particular mentioned that the win might occur in the 9th or 10th round. This prognosis is a reflection of his confidence in the strategic and fighting skill of the UK. Lapin also addressed the widespread belief that body shots could be possible. He disregarded these worries, a subject that boxing observers had been talking about in the run-up to the fight, showing faith in Usyk's capacity to overcome any obstacles Fury would throw in this regard. Lapin presents an image of a mentally strong and well-trained Usyk who is prepared to take on and maybe beat one of the toughest opponents in the heavyweight division. His analysis and forecasts not only captured his own training experiences with Usyk, but also his conviction that Usyk has the power and plan to defeat Fury in this crucial encounter. Speaking of body shot susceptibility to the UK, boxing great Lennox Lewis expressed an intriguing viewpoint. Lewis had earlier expected a difficult battle for the Ukrainian and had backed the Gypsy King to prevail. But he has just provided some new information about the matchup. Lewis highlighted as Usyk's main weakness in his most recent interview with Box Nation that he was open to body shots. His observation was based on Usyk's response to body blows in earlier encounters, pointing out that Usyk seemed to feel the blow, strongly implying a possible weakness. In case Lewis were tutoring Tyson Fury, he also provided some tactical guidance. Fury should, he advised, strive to keep Usyk against the ropes, use his jab well, and dominate the middle of the ring. Fury may take use of Usyk's size to his advantage by keeping a distance and keeping it on the outside. In order to manage Usyk, Lewis underlined the need of movement and advised Fury to keep Usyk moving, which might wear it out over time. For my part, I would beat Usyk by, putting him up against the ropes. Work my jab, seize the center of the ring, keep him on the outside, and never stop moving. Usyks' extensive knowledge of boxing dynamics, especially in handling competitors with disparate physical characteristics and styles, is the foundation of this counsel. His observations show a calculated move to take use of Usyk's alleged weaknesses and maximize Fury's ring advantages. In his most recent interview, promoter of Tyson Fury, Frank Warren, boldly declared that Fury would beat Alexander Usyk by knockout. Warren said he was really looking forward to the battle because of the stakes and the caliber of the contest. Fury was in excellent physical and mental preparation going into the fight, he said, thanks to the extra training time brought on by previous postponements. Warren pointed out that Fury has historically rose to the challenge against strong opponents like Deontay Wilder and Wladimir Klitschko, despite his less than stellar performance against Francis Ngannou. Warren's tactical reading of the match is that Fury must seize the initiative right away by seizing the middle of the ring and overwhelming Usyk with his size and talent. He talked on Usyk's weakness and underlined the need of Fury being the mental as well as the physical aggressor in the ring. Warren brought out that although Usyk has proven resilient, he hasn't yet faced a challenge from someone with Fury's special combination of size, talent, and psychological warfare. He feels that one of Fury's main advantages that will bring Usyk down is his capacity to take punishment and bounce back stronger. Fury do we see this Saturday to what we saw last time? Well, we don't see a better Tyson Fury. He's in trouble, he had a bad day at the office. It's as simple as that, and he didn't look good, but he is not looking good. He won the fight, and that's what good fighters do on an off night. And you can have an off night. Ngannou was an unknown quantity at that time, and obviously Edge worked him out from seeing him in with Tyson, and they got their game planned right, But that's gone, and there's no good dwelling on that. I look at the Tyson Fury that over the period of time, what he done with Klitschko, and what he's done on with 3 times with Deontay Wilder in tough fights. You know where he's had to get off the floor a couple of times as well, and do what he's had to do to win fights. And for me, he looks looking at him and mentally looks in a better place than for any of those fights. Frank, you're a man who's seen how the hip divisions evolved over the years, and some of the greats in the 70s and 80s. I heard you speaking there with Ad. Tyson was asked, and he said that he will be the greatest heavyweight of all time. He also said opinions are for nobodies and opinions don't really matter, but he did say that he will become the greatest heavyweight of all time with a win on Saturday night. Where do you put him in the mid if he wins on Saturday, which I expect him to do, and I believe he will? That makes him the best heavyweight this century by far. And if you look back over the period of time of the heavyweight, certainly I see growing up, and some of the footage I've seen with the old ones, he's there with all of them. He's in the S, mention them in the same breath as all of them because they were all superb great heavyweights of their time and periods. People seem to forget how large Tyson is. He is, you know, a 6'68", 69 large person, but he is also really fast, a powerful puncher, has excellent reflexes, and a fantastic chin. He would have beat a lot of them and given all these guys a lot of issues to consider. Boxing is undoubtedly a weird sport since people always judge a sport based on the latest performance, and then there's Alexander Usyk's performance against Daniel Dice when they witnessed the shot that was considered low. After that battle, Tyson Fury was definitely wiping the floor with this man, and then Alexander Usyk was wiping the floor with this man. I know you'll have your say on that and everything, but after that bout, Tyson Fury was wiping the floor with this man. While it's all very spicy, the fighters, their trainers, and their camps will be searching for weaknesses in each other's armor. They may find some, but they haven't yet properly exploited them. And Tyson, look, he's been on the floor, taken by large blows, and he got up. He also got up and turned around to win the round. Tyson is someone I just think will be too much on the night, and you can obviously check into his prior performance. John, I don't want to keep you here all day as much as I wish I could just speaking about the fight, because it absolutely fascinates me. For me, I'm so intrigued as to how the first couple of rounds play out because I feel like part of it could be Kai, and then part of us could just see them going at it, some raping the body. Whatever, do you have a vision of how this fight plays out on Saturday night? Yeah, I feel that Tyson, I feel that he's got to go, and he's got to dominate the fight. He's got to take the center of the ring, and he's got to dominate him. He's got to be the boss. He's got to be the governor. A few more for me. We've seen Anthony Joshua's flown, and now Moses at town was out here. Obviously, he trains with Ben Davidson as well. That would be the obvious. Warren expected a fiercely close match, but in the end, Fury executes his strategy well, and there is a mid-fight stoppage. Warren believes that Fury has unmatched skills in the heavyweight class and that he can unify the championships to establish himself as one of the best. Though the pros think Tyson Fury will prevail, both boxers seem upbeat about the fight. But what do you think will happen? Will after the fight John Fury's deeds haunt the Gypsy King? Tell us in the space provided for comments. It ends here for today. Recall to like and subscribe to the channel. To ensure you never miss out on videos like this, turn on the bell for the newest alerts. We appreciate your watching, and see you in the next one.